We're joined now by California Congressman Robert Garcia. He is the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, which approved the subpoena for Maxwell and is spearheading the subpoena for the Epstein files. Congressman, thanks for being with us. Are you in talks with Chairman Comer about the subpoena and timing, or is that a Republican-only thing?
No, we are. And in fact, we actually had a letter that went to Chairman Comer today, kind of outlining what we believe the subpoena process should actually look like. And we certainly want to ensure that once a subpoena is issued, which Chairman Comer has said that he will issue, that we receive also the full files and documents within 30 days. And so the two committees have already spoken. We're in communication with each other. Comer has actually said that he intends to actually issue the subpoena. And so we are ready to receive the documents from the Department of Justice. And I am grateful that there were some Republicans in that committee when we made that motion to get the subpoena that actually joined us to get the full release.
What if DOJ doesn't give you everything you're asking for?
Well, look, that's not an option. I mean, the subpoena is clear, and Chairman Comer, from what we understand, is going to be compelled to follow exactly what we put forward as a motion to release these files. And so the Department of Justice has to release these files to the committee. And so the sooner that Chairman Comer signs and get that subpoena out the door, the faster that we can actually get these files and review them, really on behalf of the American public. We want the truth. What is Donald Trump hiding? What is Pam Bondi hiding? Why this enormous reversal from being so committed to releasing these files to where we are today? And I think it's really important that people know when folks are out in the community, back home in their districts, this is interesting to the American public. They're asking us questions. And so this gets to the heart, I think, of people feeling betrayed by Donald Trump and a broader question of corruption and what is happening in the White House.
So Republicans, I mean, this was led by Democrats in the subcommittee and joined by Republicans. But Republicans added amendments to depose the Clintons, former FBI Director James Comey, to get comms from Biden aides. Could the inclusion of former officials, many of whom were involved in the Russia investigation and the events that were looked at in the investigation, open this up to becoming as much about relitigating the Russia involvement in the 2016 election as it is about Epstein? Because certainly Republicans would like to pursue this line on the Russia stuff that the president is pushing.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was a motion that was made by those committee Republicans that they adopted. It's not something that the Democrats actually voted for. We voted that one motion down. We, of course, voted in support of the full.
On you. That's my question. Motion. Because you vote on the full motion, well, look, so it's included in there.
No, it was not. There were two actually separate motions. And so their motion
is part of the effort. This is, and I'm sorry for getting that wrong, but this is what is going to be included in this effort. So now you are dealing with that, with the Clintons, with Comey, with former AGs, and you're going to have to deal with that. I mean, what is that going to look like for you guys?
We were already dealing with that. I mean, Republicans have already been obsessed with all of these other conspiracy theories that they have had in the past. They've been talking about this along with the Epstein files and other issues for years. So this is actually nothing new. The Department of Justice, Donald Trump, Republicans in Congress have been focused on continuing to relitigate all this information. What we want is to just hold Donald Trump accountable for what he said. If he said he's going to release the Epstein files, let's release them. We know that Epstein, we know that Ghislaine Maxwell, there's just a horrific history of sexual abuse, of preying on young women, on children. And so we want the truth. And here's the other thing that's important, and what we said in committee. We don't care who is in these files. We don't care what powerful people will be implicated. We don't care whether they were in politics, in business, how much money they have, how much power they influence. If you actually cause harm to people, if there's some type of network of folks that need to be exposed to the American public has a right to know, which is why we're pushing so aggressively to get all of these documents to the American public.
House